Good morning. It's May 4th and we are back at the trailhead at Bridle Path Falling Waters. Brian's headed back to finish up the Direttissima. Day 8. He came home, dried out, and we're ready to go. So we're ready to go. Brian's ready to go and I'm headed back to work. But just a little update as we drop him off, and I'll see him again probably in 10 or 12 days for his next resupply.
Woo-hoo. All right, we said goodbye to Sarah and we're getting back on trail where we hopped off back on Monday. Today's Thursday, and we've got 4 miles before we're back on new territory for our Direttissima. Reboot day 8. Day 8 update, climbing back up to Mount Lafayette. There is Franconia Ridge in the background. Lafayette. So we're going back up there and then we're swinging a left to head towards Mount Garfield. It's nice today because all the moisture off of the trees on the trail has evaporated, so I'm not getting soaked right now. And I'll probably put on a windbreaker once I get to the hut. So far so good. All right, day 8 update. Made it to the hut. Everyone's super nice at the hut. They're getting ready to open. Offered me hot drinks, offered me water. Got me the recent weather report. We're heading up there back into the clouds. At least we can actually see the lake today. And then we're gonna hang a left. So stay tuned. What's up? Day 8. We're back on Lafayette where we turned off for bad weather. At least it's not raining, but it's pretty wintry up here. So we're gonna make a left. Garfield Ridge Trail. Let's see how it goes. Day 8 update. We just came down from the Garfield Ridge Trail and we made it to the junction with Skookumchuck. Lots of big drifts, you know, up to my knees and thighs, and some drifting even on the ridge. But when there's no drifts, it's pretty good. Not much visibility, but the best part of this is very little wind. We're about 2 miles from Mount Garfield, give or take, as the crow flies, I guess. Garfield Trail 2.9. It's around noon, so we're gonna keep on the ridge here, and our main goal is just to get in the tree line for some shelter, and then we'll play it by ear after that and see what the trail looks like once we're back in tree line. It may be very post-holy. That's the update. We'll check in later. Day 8 update. Well, we made it below tree line on the Garfield Ridge Trail. We're a couple miles from Mount Garfield, and it's just incredible down here. Heavy snow the past 2 nights, obviously, which is why I got off trail for a couple of days. And it's just Snow everywhere, very peaceful, very quiet. Day 8 update. It's about 2 in the afternoon. We've been on the Garfield Ridge Trail. We got to a point in low elevation where we're starting to post hole more, and it's like, I think slightly above freezing right now. You can see the range in the distance, still covered in clouds, fogged in over there. So, not much has changed weather-wise. No shot of the sun today, I don't think. So, we got about over half a mile or so to Garfield Pond. That might be our stopping point for the night. Ease back into this journey. We'll see. See how I think if it was a clear day, I'd push on the Garfield, get some views today. But since it's like this, maybe tomorrow, you know, let everything firm up again overnight. I think it's gonna be below freezing. Maybe get some views at Garfield and then head on over to Galehead Hut. So I think that's the plan I'm thinking of right now. There's been a little bit of like light flurries coming down, but nothing wet, which is nice. No rain. So overall, pretty comfortable, even though it's probably right around just slightly above freezing right now. Once we got off the ridge and in tree line, the wind, you know, there was no wind, and very comfortable. I just have on the windbreaker here because we're still going through sections of trail where you gotta, because it's still high, because of the snowpack, you're just busting through and a bunch of snow is falling on me. So trying to keep dry, but with the post holing and the snow falling, still gonna be wet, but I don't think we're gonna be soaked, so that's nice. And even though my feet are cold, they really have not been like wet, soaking wet, which is also nice. So that's where we are. I saw one gentleman, French Canadian, coming down just under the summit of Mount Lafayette, and quite frankly, I was surprised to see him. He did the loop, so good for him. And I will be shocked if I see anyone else today. So who knows? Let's go. What's up? Monday, May 4th, day 8. We are eventually going to make it to Mount Garfield in the clouds right now. Probably not today. We're heading down the trail. Still a lot of snow. Some dry spots here and there. Making our way to Garfield Pond. Hoping maybe there's some spots with no snow, but we'll see. If I got to camp on snow, that's fine. Wind's picked up a tiny little bit, and it feels like there's been a little more precipitation. So I think it's a good idea to get down to the pond area, find somewhere to set up for the night, and ease back into our Direttissima attempt. Day 8 update. It's about 3 in the afternoon. Just got our tent set up. We're camped on the snow. We're near Garfield Pond. A lot of snow out here. And it's a few feet deep, so just kind of stomped it out. You can see how deep it is where the tent is. So just a little stomping, and we'll make the best of it. But that last mile was pretty slow going. It got a lot more post-holy, and after getting camp set up, starting to get a little chilly, so I'm gonna hop in that tent and warm up. Okay, we're in the tent. We're warming up. It's up to 39 degrees in the tent. I had a little bit of an issue, I guess you would say. Let me just have a sip of coffee. I have been carrying for years now the big lighters. I stopped carrying matches years ago just because they would, at some point, the box would always end up getting wet, and even though they're waterproof, the lighters were just so much more reliable, and I always will have spare. In fact, I have 4 lighters. And I'd still been on the first one, the orange one, for a long time. And when I got situated and tried to get my jet boil started, all 4 lighters are not working. I don't know what the heck is going on. I tried warming them up in a sock, although I've had them in colder than this. I don't think they got wet, but I don't know what is happening, why none of them are working. So yeah, that would have been, it wouldn't have been, it would just be unpleasant because I wouldn't have any hot beverages. And I wasn't planning on having a hot meal for a few nights anyway. So I was able to, though, go to my Jetboil stove, and the ignition hasn't worked on that for a couple of years, and I just would use lighters, so never really cared about it. So I played around with the Jetboil for like a half hour on the stove, and finally there's a little piece of ceramic that comes up next to the stove, and there's a little tiny sliver of some sort of metal, and I just played with that and finally figured out, pushed the metal away from the ceramic, and then lucky for me, it actually ignited the gas, the propane. So back in business for hot coffee. But that still leaves this conundrum of what the heck is going on with my Bic lighters? Why aren't they working? I can definitely hear stuff in them. So I am really perplexed. I have enough self-service for texting, but not for like Googling, so I can't like do some Google research. And I really don't want to get Sarah worried, because there's no need to worry. And I was told at the Greenleaf Hut that there will be someone, even if they're not open technically, there will be someone at the Galehead Hut. So I'm hoping I can buy matches or a lighter there just as backup until I figure out. I mean, the one I've been using, okay, that's going to run out at some point. But the other 3 I've been carrying, have never used. They all fail. None of them are working. Something weird is going on, and I don't know what it is. So it's a mystery. It's a mystery on the trail. And obviously I'm not too upset about it just because I was able to get the igniter to work. Otherwise, I would probably still be trying to figure this thing out. And I'll figure it out eventually, but crazy, right? I mean, the last thing I expected to have an issue with is a lighter for the stove. And here we go. Maybe I need to start carrying matches again, or have a lighter in a different, I keep them all together. Maybe I need to have a lighter, emergency lighter, maybe a different brand even, in my med kit bag or something, because I mean, if I was really jumping in the tent and it was like really cold or wet, I mean, I could still survive the night, but it wouldn't be a lot of fun. Just having this warm beverage makes all the difference after post-holing for that last like mile. So yeah, crazy. There you go. I'm glad I was able to get the stove ignition to work, and I'll just keep an eye on that, and hopefully I can just keep relying on that until I can get matches or a lighter as backup. Did not get a peak today. I mean, we got one, but we already had it. We got Lafayette. So we're still at the same number of peaks. Moosilauke, South Kinsman, North Kinsman, Cannon, Lincoln, Lafayette. We're still at 6. So we'll get at least Garfield tomorrow and hopefully more. And overall feel pretty good. It was pretty good going until like that last mile when it just got really slow. I feel good. I know I'm going to get a good night's sleep tonight. And there will be probably no sun tomorrow. But then it looks like we're going to have a nice, decent stretch of sunny days. Awesome. So looking forward to that. Yeah, but this is cool, you know, at the pond. It's May, right? It's it's May, and there's still a couple, at least the 2, 3, 4 feet of snow I'm camped on. So crazy. And if I, you know, make it back on the yo-yo, it'll be completely different. So that's pretty wild to think about. But let's not get too far ahead. Yep. So that's it. I'm gonna wrap this up, and we'll see you in the morning. Hopefully, I can make a hot cup of coffee in the morning. Fingers crossed.